Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the council work session meeting, March 3rd, City of Gulf Shores. Appreciate you being here. Today's the meeting where we'll be discussing the events, the issues that we'll be voting on next Monday, and that's our opportunity to get your input and answer any questions and get your opinions if you're so inclined to share them with us. I'll ask if you have anything to say or a question, raise your hand. I'll address you and ask you to come to the microphone and speak to us with what's on your mind. Again, we appreciate you being here. We'll start off with the work session, our councilman discussion period. Mr. Jones.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have something very quickly. I visit our recycle center up on 36 very frequently, and it is, they do a fabulous job up there. They keep that thing orderly. I know people aren't very good about sometimes keeping everything where it belongs to go. But I did notice this morning that I've seen an increase of the amount of, looks like people are leaving motor oil and paint cans there on that corner where the Gulf Shores Utilities Collection Station is, which is supposed to be for cooking oil only. So bringing that up for anyone that's listening and also anyone here, cooking oil only is the only thing that can be dropped there, but I am seeing a significant increase of motor oil drop and paint cans. And so there was a sign that said, I believe, no motor oil, oil only. That sign has become damaged and needs to be replaced. So maybe we want to put together another blast or a public notification to let people know what can be brought to the recycling center so that we don't have that being abused. So that it stays doing the job that it can do. I can't imagine the quantity of things that come there, but I know that the snowbirds are very active recyclers, and we're grateful for that. And our community is very engaged in recycling, which we are grateful for, but we do want to see our recycling center used properly. And I wanted to make that a point of topic tonight, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Toby, you got a couple of issues for us?
I do, yes, sir. High Tide Daiquiris and Mimosas LLC, doing business as High Tide Daiquiris and Mimosas, has applied for a restaurant retail liquor license. They are located, or will be located, 408 West Beach Boulevard. It's the location of the Old Belly Deli. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Toby. Anybody with any questions or comments on this application? Next.
Yes, sir. A board reappointment, Nora Mandoki's term on the Personnel Board expires March 27th. She has agreed to be reappointed and serve a full term of 3 years, ending on March 27th, 2028, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Toby. Nora's been a really patient and faithful partner in this board,
Yes, sir.
so we appreciate our opportunity again. Any discussion, questions? Thank you, Toby. Gabe. Presentation for us, please, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon, City Council. It's been my first time presenting to you guys. I haven't met you all yet, but I'm thrilled to be here. I'm the new Capital Projects Manager in the Capital Projects Department under Clint Colvin's leadership. Clint is, he's out this week, but I'll be presenting project management software for us. So the recommendation is to authorize the Capital Projects Department to purchase Procore project management software based on the pricing provided in their proposal and an amount not to exceed $69,118. And the background here is the Capital Projects Department was formed to manage construction of city capital projects. And with a large number of projects currently planned for the city, a construction management software is needed to effectively manage those projects. The city has selected Procore as the preferred software, as it is the industry standard. And a quote has been provided by Procore that includes a 1-year license for $45,742.13. And their Procore's pricing is based on volume of construction that you run through the system. Their proposal also includes all initial setup fees and a one-time fee of $23,375 for a total cost of $69,117.13 for the first year. The budget implications here are there is currently $110,000 budgeted for administration and inspection services for the Justice Center project in '25. For future budget years, the yearly cost will be budgeted within the Capital Projects Department budget. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of background here on what Procore is, why we're very interested to bring it to the city. Procore is for public agencies. The model that we're using here is specifically designed for public agencies. They also do, general contractors and, much broader clientele, but this specific module is set up for public agencies. So it's a purpose-built construction management platform for public sector organizations that want to drive accountability, transparency, and more effectively manage their programs. Only Procore provides a highly scalable, agile platform with an open API that gives organizations the ability to own their data, standardize and optimize their project delivery, and mitigate risk while fostering collaboration at every stage of the project. Procore covers the entire life cycle of a project, including pre-construction, project management, resource management, and financial management, all in one user-friendly platform. It's also a communications hub where all project collaborators are on the same platform, speaking the same language. It really increases accountability and keeping a project on schedule and in budget. So these are just a couple of images here of what Procore does and how it's set up. It might be too small for you all to see it here. But it's an owner-centralized city agency, collaboration with general contractors, architects and engineers, specialty contractors, again, all in one place. And some of the leading public agencies that use this are universities, and ALDOT. ALDOT is a big one. They've recently started using Procore as well, and we partner with ALDOT a lot so that we'll speak a common language in how we manage projects. Next slide. And this is the pricing breakdown of the modules that we've selected. Project Financials is $11,959 per year. Project Management Pro is $24,735. Quality and Safety module is $9,046 for a total yearly subscription cost of $45,742.13. The one-time implementation fee is covers 138 hours of Procore leadership helping us through this, implement the software, and get it configured and set up exactly like we want to see it for all of our reporting and to house all of our data.
Gabe, you have a relationship, you've worked with this program before?
I have for about 12 years. I've used 3 or 4 different project management information systems, and Procore is by far the best that I've used.
Council, any questions, comments?
Gabe, is this something that private contractors will tie into working with the city, the building department?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, it has a much broader
Along with our
application.
city projects.
We're really rolling it out for capital project management, but it has a much broader application. It can be used for maintenance, for anything where you invite the project contributors and everybody uses it as basically an information hub. Exchange of information and data, everything is stored in the system. It's all cloud-based, backed up and secure.
Anybody in the audience, any questions or comments? Thank you, Gabe. Emma?
Good afternoon. What you have before you is consideration to adopt the city's fixed asset manual. We have had a fixed asset manual since 2014, but it has become rather outdated with some upgrades or updates that were made in the 2025 budget cycle to the asset classes and thresholds, which gave us a good opportunity to make some other needed changes as we saw fit. A fixed asset manual is basically a document that provides guidelines and procedures for all things governmental assets, from acquisition to depreciation, management, correct accounting. It is written in accordance with Governmental Accounting Standards Board Statement 34, which pertains to the accounting of fixed assets, and we did vet all of these proposed updates with our independent auditing firm to ensure there were no issues. So as you can see, and I did write former in the title of this slide because technically these class changes and threshold, that's a tricky one, changes were passed in the 2025 budget book. These are the existing classes and thresholds for capitalization. The top four in white, neither the class name nor the dollar threshold changed. However, the 5 in yellow listed below were consolidated to be a more concise asset class, and the threshold was raised from 5, 10, and 15,000 up to 50,000. I apologize, it's not all on one slide for easier viewing. But again, this is the proposed new current asset classes and thresholds. Again, the only changes are listed at the bottom in yellow. The suggested useful life, currently it will be stated in years as opposed to months as currently stated in our fixed asset manual, but no changes otherwise. These classes do mirror the previous asset classes. This also gave us a good opportunity to address a couple of disposal issues. So it was decided or proposed that any assets under the capitalization threshold will no longer be brought to you all for ratification before auctioning on gov deals. That will rather just be surplused and auctioned administratively to cut down on some of the costumes or small knickknack items, office desks, furnitures, lamps, things that kind of clutter up the agenda. Those will be auctioned administratively, still offered on govdeals.com, and assets that exceed that capitalization threshold will still be brought to you for consideration beforehand. That would be most of our vehicles or knuckle booms or fire trucks, things of that nature. In the event that items are auctioned and do not sell, they may then be considered for donation, and that will be at the discretion of the city administrator and or mayor. This was just a little bit of housekeeping to formalize our internal procedures. For example, if the fire department no longer has a need for a vehicle, but the executive department does, this just solidifies the steps that they need to go through to make sure that everything is properly recorded and accounted for in our financial software. And I'm happy to answer any questions should you have them.
Thank you, Anna. Council, any questions? Audience, anybody, questions or comments? Thank you. Shelby.
Yes, sir. So my first one is for some house cleaning on our city municipal credit cards. With the reorgs that we've had this year, as well as some new positions, we just needed to clean up our resolution a bit to reflect the current positions and the new ones as well. The only other change here is that we're requesting our overall city credit limit be increased from $120,000 to $150,000. The bank does require approval from you guys prior to upping that credit limit. I would like to note we're not typically putting $150,000 on a credit card every month, but there is about a 10 to 15 day span each month where we are floating the previous month's balance prior to the payment clearing the bank, and so that's the reason for the request. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Shelby. Council, questions? Audience, comments, questions? Got another one?
Yes, sir. So this is something that John gave to me to present in his outage this week. But this is process improvement training for about 20 members of the City of Gulf Shores staff. This will be a 6-month-long program for a total of $33,000. This is going to go through the Auburn University Lean 101 training, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Shelby. Council, any questions? Audience? Thank you.
Thank you.
Joel? Pardon?
Fire department.
So that one's been pulled? Just okay. Do you have anything?
Yeah, it's later on.
Okay, well,
I mean, it's either way.
these were just there, so I wasn't looking at this. I was going from the stack.
There weren't inserts for the other one, sorry.
Okay, fire department. Robert?
Good afternoon, Mayor and
Good
Council.
afternoon.
Just got a few recognitions to put before you. The first one we'd like to recognize is our firefighter of the year for 2024. It's Alex Anagnostopoulos. He's been a dedicated member of our department for the last 19 years. I'm sure almost everybody in this room has had an opportunity to work alongside of him with all the things that he's involved in. It really would take me a long time to mention everything that he's accomplished over his career here. But I think what I want to mention the most is that I don't know that I could think of another person that would represent what I feel and what we feel our department is a true professional. Alex has known what his job is at the fire department since the day he got here. He spent every minute that he's been here making sure that he's the best that he can be to serve our citizens and the people here, but even serving the people that he works with. I think every day that he comes here, he's learning. He's doing what we all look at as what a professional does, and I don't think there could have been a better deserving person than Alex for this. So if you would, congratulate him with me, please.
Good job.
We have one more. This is Ricky Nolte. Recently, we just finished our promotional process, and we did have one spot that was open. It was for a lieutenant on the fire truck, and he's been a 11-year member with us. Been a long lineage of public service in his family. His father is the lieutenant with the Marine Division in Orange Beach Police Department. Been there for a long time as well. Just a little background on Ricky. He came here as a volunteer with us. Started riding along with me personally, then he got put with us on my truck. Very eager to learn. Immediately went and got his paramedics. He figured he could serve with that. Really enjoyed the EMS side, so he's been a standing member on our EMS board committee where we do all our QA, QI stuff, and he does an excellent job on that. Recently, he's taken over as our team lead for all of our technical rescue stuff, high angle, trench rescue, stuff like that. So he's the leader with that. And the reason he's standing before you today is we just recently had a promotion, as I said, and he came out number 1 out of 13 people, and has just been recently promoted to lieutenant. So congratulations.
Why don't I just jump it over?
You got it. You're good.
Melvin.
Believe we get Mayor, City Council. Before you today, I'm asking for you to consider authorizing the hire of another fire inspector. We did request this in the 2025 budget, but it didn't go through, and I understand that. But when Fire Marshal Surrey went out unexpectedly, it really showed us that we need some additional help. Just some of the things that they do between fire inspections, business license inspections, which we're required by ISO to inspect all the businesses in the city once a year. Mobile food trucks, total inspections, 2,677 inspections. Community outreach, almost 5,000 events that they contact people. So Lieutenant Parks was hired 2 years ago as a fire inspector, and we have tasked him to try and learn as much as he can about the fire marshal's job, but he has his own job, and he does most of all of this on this piece of paper. So it's very difficult to learn that other job and keep everything else in line. So we are requesting the additional one person to help the fire marshal's office out.
More importantly, how's George doing?
He's well. He has another appointment with his cardiologist coming up, but he is very eager to help with this process if you approve it, for us to hire an additional person. So we're glad that he's doing well and hope he makes it back soon.
Hopefully, we'll have one more than we need, so.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, council, or
Yeah,
comments?
that's a definite needed position. I can say from experience. I don't see how George and Justin have done what they've done. I don't see it, how they do it.
It's been very stressful, especially with George in his absence on Justin. We do have a gentleman in the department that has all the training he needs, that he's been helping out on his days off from the fire engine. So we're managing, getting everything done. We're not falling behind. And thanks to the building department for helping out with some of the pre-fire plans that are required to do. It's really been a team effort with George's absence. So we appreciate everything y'all do for us. And, we're here to serve this community the best we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Noel, you got a couple? I think.
Nope, Deputy Dan. Or
Yeah, please.
Deputy Chief Taylor.
I have Dan as last, but Dan, you go ahead.
We're only here to confuse, Mayor.
I don't think I need any help.
Hopefully John's online, he'll know he's missed.
There you go. All right, Mayor and Council, we're going to thankfully piggyback off of brothers at the fire department a little bit and honor a few of our officers here for selected annual awards. The first award up is the Aggressive Criminal Enforcement Award. It's given to officers whose actions have accounted for 10 or more notable self-initiated felony arrests in a calendar year. First up, you've got Officer Tim Hester here. Tim's been with us a while. He's a common face. He has 46 total arrests on the year, 10 of which are self-initiated felony arrests. Officer Hester was also nominated 3 times for Officer of the Month this year. I'm sorry, 24. One of his notable felony arrests, he was making contact with the owner of a vehicle who was asleep inside. Probable cause was developed to place the subject under arrest. He was later contacted by the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, stating they had just inked a manslaughter warrant for this person, and they were transferred to Baldwin County Jail where they held on those charges. So, Tim, congratulations. Next up, I'm only going to say his name once, so it's correct. Officer Gabe Trujillo. Officer Trujillo totaled 71 total arrests for 2024, 11 of which were self-initiated felony arrests. He was nominated 4 times for Officer of the Month. He displays a natural ability in locating and apprehending subjects for narcotics through his young career at the Gulf Shores Police Department. Along with his unusual productivity, he was also received the Life Saving Award in April of 2024. Congratulations, Gabe. Next up is Officer Ian Wallace with some pretty staggering numbers here. Officer Wallace was responsible for 71 total arrests in the 2024, 27 of which are self-initiated felony arrests. That number is very incredible. He won Officer of the Month nomination prior to be assigned to our Criminal Patrol Unit. One of his notable felony arrests located suspects that were wanted by the U.S. Postal Inspection for stealing checks and money orders for drop boxes of real estate companies, and 4 suspects in total were captured based on one of his arrests. So congratulations, Officer Wallace. Next up is Officer Chandler Boyd. Officer Chandler Boyd racked up 70 total arrests, 10 of which were self-initiated felonies. He had 6 nominations for Officer of the Month in 2024. Only 6, so somebody else could have a few. Officer Boyd coordinated with other officers after locating a suspect staying in a local hotel wanted for theft of property greater than $100,000 and a burglary out of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, one of his more notable self-initiated felony arrests. Congratulations, Officer Boyd. Now, don't run off. Not unlike Alex, I think we may have our own Alex here. So, Officer Boyd graduated the police academy in December of 2023. So he went through a 3-month FTO process after that. And now Officer Boyd is being named Officer of the Year for 2024. all we have. Mayor, council, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. If that's not impressive, I don't know what is, folks. I mean, our public safety commitment up here to provide the best of the best in fire and police was on display tonight. And we couldn't be more proud of who we have in the back of this room and who we have on all of our fire crew and beach safety groups. We're blessed to have these individuals willing to give us what they give us to help keep us safe. There's nothing more important in this community. So thank you for all you do, guys and gals. I think I'm finally to Noel. Am I? I wasn't gonna let you get out of here.
It's a pleasure to finally get up here.
We had only had your name called 4 times.
So what we have before you is for the high school site, and this is for to award Scherer Consulting commissioning agent for the Gulf Shores High School. I'm sorry. Great, okay.
Yeah.
So the commissioning is I'm sure y'all are aware of, but just it's the process of ensuring the systems, HVA systems are designed, installed, functionally tested, and capable of being operated, maintained, and performed in conformity with its design intent. So this company will come in, be with the design meetings, staying with the contractor to make sure at every stage of this project is built as per coordinates. And so we're asking with the amount of $356,000. That runs about 1.9% of the value of the HVAC system. So it's about, it's $18 million project, or the HVAC is. So it's running about 1.9%, which is right there below. This is a local company. When I say below, it's 1.9, it's usually like 2 to 4%. But they're out of Orange Beach. The other company that we had looked at, they're running like 3.2%, but they are in North Alabama. So it's the travel, and it's a lot of coordination with the system that's being installed at the new high school. So that's all I have. If you want to have anything else.
Is that on budget?
Yes, sir.
It is a budget.
So ironically, it was budgeted in our spreadsheet at $356,000, and that's what it came in at.
Council, any questions?
This is in the original bid?
It's not in the bid of the original contract. So what we had estimated that cost, as in we have money that we're going to spend outside of the contractor. This wasn't in the contractor's bid, but we have outside money that we're spending towards these line items that weren't part of the contractor's bid, because we knew it would save money from them.
Any questions, comments by anybody? Okay, Noel?
Okay. And so the next one is for the Gulf Shores High School security system. And so we're recommending to award RG Young the security system contract in the amount of $475,380. They meet all the requirements and the compatibility and integration with the communication system. This was another line item that we had. We had communication, security system and communication, and there was $800,000 allocated to that. We're using per this contract, of that $800,000, $475,380. That goes to all the cameras, the notification alarms, building shutdown, magnetics, that whenever there's an emergency, it's automatically shut. And so in corridors, as per fire or anything, that's what this system will do for RJ Young. And so there's a remainder amount that's in. We're not spending the whole $800,000, but there's a whole nother component of communication, and that's internal communication. But the school is working on that right now, hoping to get a grant. And then so there's some things that we're trying to work out. But this, we need to go ahead and get in line to be able to start ordering this material, select the contractor, and so they can order the materials to be able to, so they can install when it's time to install this system.
Thanks, Noel. Any, council, any questions?
No, does all this tie back into police and fire departments over here, or is it just
Yes, sir.
strictly at the school?
Mhm. Yes, the
So
SRO.
it's automatically, what, something happens automatically.
There's a coordination, yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah. And they have been involved with that process as well.
Audience, any questions, comments? Thank you, Noel.
Absolutely.
Grant, public assembly permit application.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. So we're going to speak a little bit about beach volleyball this afternoon. There are 3 public assembly permit applications all related to beach volleyball. The first is Dustin Wilkie, who is with the Sun Conference. They are requesting an application to have their Sun Conference Volleyball Championship at our West Golf Place location, which is near the Public Safety Building, the lifeguard headquarters, April 11th and 12th. A 2-day tournament. It's small. It's got 8 teams. We'll be competing in a double elimination bracket. It will take the 6 courts that we have set up on the beach. You'll see that on the graphic on the southwest corner of our main public beach area. This is open to the public. There's no requirement for closing of any parking or any streets. And the application's been reviewed by all our departments and is be recommended for approval next Monday night. They have submitted all the necessary paperwork and just have one more item that we have not received yet, which is their certificate of insurance. So we'll be recommending approval contingent upon the receipt of the insurance. It sometimes takes a little while for them to get the insurance to us. And with that, I'll be happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Grant. Council, any questions? Audience, questions, comments?
Okay. So the next one is the American Volleyball Coaches Association Small College National Beach Volleyball Championship, better known as the AVCA Small College Championship. And probably about 8 months ago, you'll recall that we went after this championship to come to Gulf Shores. There were going to be 2 years when the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship, which is slated the first weekend in May, would be in California. And so partnering with our Alabama's Beaches and the sports and event group from the CVB, we successfully landed this tournament for April this year, for 2025, for April 17th through 19th, and it's a 2-year contract. Presumably the 2 years we were not going to be hosting the NCAA National Championship, with a 3rd-year option just to make sure that we weren't overdoing college beach volleyball tournaments on our beaches. Well, you all know what happened with the NCAA now requesting to come back, which is actually the next application. But we're very excited to be able to bring the AVCA Small College Championship to our beaches April 17th through 19th. It's a fairly large footprint. There are 24 courts that will be set up south of the Hangout Restaurant at Main Golf Place. However, this is a free to the public event. There are no requirements to close off any of the roadways. The beach is still open to the public. It's free to the public to attend this championship. These will be Division II, Division III, NCAA team styles of teams, and then the NAIA with this event. This will bring roughly 1,500 athletes to Gulf Shores in a time of year that's a real time to have additional activities going on the beaches. So again, there's no road closures required. It's a free event and open to the public. We do recommend approval of this event, and we're very excited to be able to host this for a couple of years. They have submitted all their insurance requirements, and they are ready for your consideration with a recommendation to approve.
Thank you, Grant. Council, any questions, comments? Audience, anybody?
Okay. And then finally, as mentioned, and we brought this opportunity to the council back in late January, early February, due to the fire situation in Los Angeles. The NCAA communicated with Gulf Shores Orange Beach Tourism and the city to see if we could host the national championship again this year in 2025. It's the first weekend in May, May 2nd through the 4th. The setup dates, well, they start early April 22nd to start setting up. This is a ESPN televised championship. We've hosted this event since 2016, and we have also got the contract to have them return 2027 through 2031, and that 5-year contract is already in place. We will also find out the 1st of April whether or not the 2026 event will go back to California or if it will remain here in Gulf Shores. So that's still an unknown in this long history with the NCAA National Beach Volleyball Championship. So they play on Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, and they have one match on Sunday the 4th, which is the championship duel. All matches this year will be broadcast in their entirety on ESPN2 network, bringing hundreds of thousands of viewers to be able to see the Alabama beaches and Gulf Shores beach area. Very good for us as a community, and beach volleyball is really turning into being a significant engine within Gulf Shores. The layout is exactly the same as 2024. This CAD drawing that's before you shows the locations for the camera towers and the bleachers and the courts. Because it was a very short timeline that we had to be able to set this event up, we are rinsing and repeating. It was a very successful event in 2024, and so we're using the same setup. That makes ESPN very comfortable because they know their sight lines, they know how to put their camera angles and all their infrastructure in place, and we're able to get all the assets which had not previously been ordered or pre-booked, and we're on top of that, so everything is going well. This application has also been reviewed by all the city departments. We have not yet received their certificate of insurance, but again, this is the first week of May event, so we'll make sure that we receive that prior to issuing the final permit. So we're recommending approval contingent upon the final certificate of insurance coming to the city. And we do have representatives from Alabama's Beaches Sports and Event here, Michelle Russ and Sarah Cooper. If you have any questions that I may not be able to answer related to the AVCA or NCAA, I know they'll be glad to answer, as well as I'll try to do my best.
Thank you, Grant.
Thank you, Mayor.
Council, questions or comments? Audience? Michelle, Sarah, anything you want to add?
Well, I just want to say thank you all very much. I think it's very exciting to have this volleyball action here. And it's not only great for the athletes to see our beaches, but for our locals and residents and visitors to get to enjoy this while they're here. So thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. We have, we worked really hard to present, we were able to convince this women's volleyball to come here before it was an NCAA sanctioned event through the AVCA with BP money after the oil spill. And we worked real hard to get them here to create a presence for beach volleyball on our beaches. And it's worked out famously. And then when the NCAA took over, and we've always tried to position ourselves as wanting to be the permanent home of beach volleyball. We felt like it was such a good fit for us. It's there's a women's softball is in Oklahoma City. Omaha, it also has the men's baseball championship, and those are permanent homes, and we're positioning ourselves to be that here. We felt like it's such a good fit for us. There are very few things other than college football in the state of Alabama that have nationally televised. And national television on our beaches show the beauty that we all know we have, but the world hasn't really recognized as much as they do now. And so it's a very important event, and we're very pleased to have the Alabama Beaches, TVB, to be a partner in this and helped us get here. And we're excited to be able to continue it. And hopefully everyone appreciates and will understand the opportunity to come down and visit and watch. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. So no comments from the council. Anybody in the audience with any comments or questions? That's that. So Dan, we've got something on our natural resources.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a resolution before you that will authorize the purchase of a vehicle with grant funding as part of the NERDA funded implementation agreement that we have with DCNR for the Laguna Cove project. As you guys remember, we received some NERDA funding to purchase 53 acres on the south side of the lagoon to restore it and protect it and to create a nature park to provide some public access down there. Also, as part of that implementation agreement, we have to do restoration work, operation and maintenance of the project going forward, and some monitoring of habitat and things like that. So we're going to need a vehicle to do that work, and part of the funding will allow us to purchase this vehicle for that purpose for the Department of Natural Resources to do that work. The vehicle will be purchased from the state bid list at a cost not to exceed $47,000, and all of that will be covered by the NERDA grant.
Thank you, Dan. Any questions, comments from anybody? Thank you, Dan. That completes the agenda for today. Any of our staff folks have any additional updates on anything to present? Yes.
Just a reminder on tomorrow, or Mardi Gras Parade. So, it's 10 a.m. tomorrow, and so that's from Gulf Place, and it goes to the State Park Pier. So if anybody's been down there lately, you've seen our Public Works crews working their tails off, getting the bike rack out. So we'll make this the extremely safe parade, and we've pulled out all the stops to make sure that happens. So, just a reminder on that.
Thank you, Noel. Anybody here? Kevin?
Mayor and council, good afternoon. First of all, a big thank you for Gulf Shores Gives Back last Thursday. Over 3,000 volunteers committing 75 projects, which could not have happened without the cooperation of the city and the city employees. We felt like the community, we hope they felt the love that was meant to give back on that day, because we had incredible work, the Century Garden, the airport, you name it. We were all over, all the way to Alabama Point. We were doing projects throughout the community to show our gratitude as Gulf Shores City Schools for all that you have done for Gulf Shores City Schools. So we hope you all had a chance to enjoy that day as well, because it was a wonderful day, and it'll be bigger and better next year.
It was amazing to watch some of the young kids being able to give back to their community, and from day from school. It feels good to do something for people for nothing, to be able to reach out your hand and help folks. And some of these young kids haven't had that opportunity before, and you could tell that they were really enjoying it and really proud of what they were doing.
It's so important for them to see parts of the community that may be different from the part they live in, and to see some of the people that are in need. It was a great day. The students' hearts were filled with gratitude. It was covered by all 4 networks, great coverage, and it meant a lot that we were able to partner with the city once again, and we'll do it again in 2026, bigger and better. I have one more point,
Yes.
and that is, being the first Monday in March, I will be sending a letter to the mayor and council advising you again of the process for the annual reappointment to the school board. The process begins in April with, or the process begins now in March with y'all, and in April, you will make an appointment or a reappointment to the school board. We have 5 members of the school board. 1 member rolls off of a 5-year term each year. This year, it's Mrs. Kelly Walker that's up for reappointment. We'll leave it to her to express to you her desire for reappointment. But we beg the city to be transparent throughout the process. Every eligible citizen should have an opportunity to have a voice on our school board, and we welcome that. And we'll accept your appointment in May, and then that person will begin their term in June of 2025. So you can expect that letter in your mailbox in the morning.
Kevin, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Anybody here that have anything to approach and questions or comments for the city? Yes, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Carolyn Hall. I own David's Gallery. We're a 3-generation family-owned business. We've been in Gulf Shores since 1969. You'd think after half a century I'd know what the sign rules are, but I'm totally confused. I moved 1544 Gulf Shores Parkway to 618 Gulf Shores Parkway the 1st of January. And in my old location, I had signs like this in the front yard that said pipes, jewelry, clothing, and one more, incense. I had 4 signs, and it wasn't a problem. When I moved to 618, I put out 1 sign, and I was told to take it down. So I'm kind of confused about what the rules are, since I've moved.
Andy or Lee, one of you want to answer that?
The city, I was notified of this last week, and I'm working with the, basically the code enforcement officer to relay what the sign regulations are to Ms. Hall. So the big difference is your location you used to have had frontage on Highway 59. The new location does not have any frontage on Highway 59. So that's part of the issue. But, we will get you an answer this week, of exactly what you can and can't do.
Okay.
Because I know your daughter reached out to and asked, what can we do? Tell us what you can't do. It's part of the code enforcement job, code enforcement officer's job, but we will get you the answer.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carol. Anybody else? Well, we appreciate you being here. We'll do this again next Monday night. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We stand adjourned. Thank you for being here.
Damn.